Some criminals act as if consequences are just someone else's problem. But reality has a habit of showing up at the worst possible moment. The stories ahead reveal how quickly bold plans can unravel when overconfidence takes the wheel. At the Cash America pawn store on Alameda Road in Houston, two suspects armed with weapons ordered the employees to the floor while the others smashed display cases with hammers and stole jewelry. Breaking the glass was easy. Explaining it in court will be much harder. He walked into Dollar Tree stores on the south side, pretending to be just another shopper. Then the knife came out, and a normal workday turned into a robbery. He saw a store under construction and thought it was the perfect time to steal liquor. Apparently, he mistook renovation for help yourself. Three people showed up for a job that pays in stolen cash and bad life choices. The black Ford Explorer got them away from the store, but not from the consequences.
Hey, you know what the shit, bro? Hey, open the register, bro. Open the register, bro. Get up. Open it up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up, nigga. Hurry up.
Three grown men coordinated an entire operation to rob a smoke shop. If they put this much effort into a real business, they might have actually made money the legal way. A couple walked into the smoke shop together, but only one of them seemed interested in shopping. They grabbed the cash, loaded up on merchandise, and sped off in a black Chevrolet Tahoe. That's one expensive date night.
Come on, hurry up. Come on, bud, let's go.
They brought a truck, a crowbar, chains, and enough confidence to yank an ATM out of a hotel lobby. Then an armed security guard walked out of the restroom, and those ATM moving experts instantly turned into Olympic sprinters. They walked in pretending to be ordinary customers, grabbed the cash, and then fired 2 shots at the clerk on the way out. The bullet-resistant glass did its job, proving it was smarter than the people on the other side of it. He didn't wait for the register to open. He literally jumped onto the counter, grabbed the entire cash drawer, and took off. Apparently, patience was the only thing he forgot to steal. All that planning, all that risk, all that panic, for one pack of cigarettes. At that point, quitting smoking would have been the smarter decision. It took 5 people to steal phones, watches, and cash from a single store. If they had brought that same teamwork to a legitimate job, they might have been Employee of the Month, instead of ending up on a wanted poster. He robbed a phone store, then walked away like it was just another evening stroll. That's a lot of confidence for someone who just made himself the center of a police investigation. Auto parts aren't cheap, but neither is getting caught stealing them. One bad decision can cost a whole lot more than the item ever did. Wow, what a master plan. Walk into a store, cover your face, and forget that cameras exist. These suspects thought they were starring in a crime movie, but ended up creating a highlight reel for the police. They walked into AT&T, took their time browsing phones like regular customers, then pulled out wire cutters and turned shopping into stealing. Apparently, their idea of an upgrade was skipping the checkout line completely. They risked everything for a vending machine. One guy already got an arrest warrant, and the other is still playing hide and seek. That's a whole lot of trouble for snacks and spare change. They hid a crowbar in a laundry basket, broke into multiple stores, and still came away empty-handed. Imagine putting that much planning into a job where the paycheck is absolutely nothing. At a smoke shop on the 1100 block of Broadway in Houston, the suspects came in like customers, grabbed items and then went for the cash. Apparently, they confused a store with a place where everything was free.
Give me anything you got.
Four robberies in one morning takes planning, but apparently not enough planning to realize that every stop creates more evidence. The fastest way to fill a backpack was also the fastest way to fill a police report. They stole cash and brand new phones from Boost Mobile, but that still wasn't enough. Then they tried to take a mother's truck with her children inside. Some crimes stop being about greed and start becoming truly heartless. Robbing a gas station isn't exactly a genius business strategy. The cash might disappear quickly, but the investigation that follows usually lasts much longer. A simple rock became a tool for a terrifying break-in. This is why protecting your home matters. Good locks, security cameras, alarms, and awareness aren't luxuries. They're layers of protection for your family. Three men stormed into Anita Food, forced everyone to the floor, and treated the cash registers like they were running a speed checkout. They got the money and disappeared, but pulling a stunt like that usually buys a lot more attention than they bargained for. Taking home $1,700 worth of stolen merchandise might have seemed easy, but explaining it to the investigators, that's definitely not easy at all. They came for the cash but couldn't resist grabbing merchandise too. Nothing says professional criminal quite like refusing to leave until your arms are full. He walked into Walmart, handed over a note, claiming he had a weapon, demanded money, then calmly drove away in a white car parked right where everyone could see it. That's a whole lot of confidence for a plan that was way too easy to remember. Three men robbed a tobacco shop on Bel Air Boulevard, taking cash and merchandise before fleeing in a stolen Ford pickup truck. Nothing says professional, quite like stealing a vehicle just to use it in another crime. They showed up thinking they were starring in a jewelry heist movie. Hammer, masks, getaway car and all. Unfortunately for them, the ending wasn't Hollywood. It was a panic run back to the car. Third jewelry counter robbery in a few weeks. Same smash and grab style. Same rush to escape. At this point, they're acting less like master criminals and more like people who never learned that repeating the same mistake usually makes you easier to catch. Apparently asking for money wasn't moving fast enough, so he reached across the counter and grabbed it himself. Nothing says, "I've got places to be," like rushing through a robbery. He walked into the store wearing a mask, carrying a weapon, and demanded cash. The escape plan? A bicycle. Not exactly the getaway vehicle you'd expect for a major robbery.
10-15 to hold the air to the monster's buried inside of the house. Yeah.
Hey, she's good. She didn't do anything.
All right. Yeah.
Threaten 2 employees, steal the cash register, and run. That's not a smart getaway plan. It's just a fast track to becoming the next wanted poster. He walked into a smoke shop on Maxie in Houston looking for the cash register. After taking the store's money, he decided to help himself to an employee's phone and cash too. Apparently, greed doesn't know when to stop. They tried to steal a car, failed, then forced an employee back inside for the safe. That's a lot of backup plans for people who clearly didn't have a good plan A. These guys really turned robbing gas pipe stores into a road trip. Same routine, same target, same confidence every single time. They weren't building a criminal empire. They were building a case file, one store at a time. He walked into a discount store on N. Shepherd in Houston, planning to steal 3 portable speakers. When an employee confronted him, he pulled out a knife. That's a fast way to turn shoplifting into a much more serious crime. Two masked robbers stormed into a smoke shop on Attucks Claudine with handguns, all for about $400. That's a lot of risk for an amount that wouldn't even cover a decent vacation. Three men walked into a smoke shop on East Freeway in Houston, pulled out handguns, and demanded cash. Apparently, they skipped the part where normal customers pay before leaving with the merchandise. Two suspects walked in expecting an easy robbery, but the plan fell apart when an employee came out with a weapon of his own. Funny how a simple job suddenly gets complicated when people fight back. Thousands of dollars in guitars and music gear, all stolen from a storage unit on S. Sooner Road. Looks like these guys wanted to start a band without paying for the instruments. These two really ran their robbery like a small business. One handled customer service with a handgun, while the other worked security at the door. Too bad their business plan ends with detectives instead of profits. One suspect pulled a weapon, demanded cash, and the two suspects escaped. It was a quick plan, but not exactly a brilliant one, because running away doesn't erase what happened. They treated the auto parts store like a free shopping trip. The only difference is, real shoppers leave with receipts, while these guys left behind a long list of questions for detectives. Breaking into a 1996 Honda Civic at 2 a.m. was already a bad decision. Choosing a car with green stripes and a huge sunflower sticker made the getaway plan even more memorable. He spent more time planning this robbery than most people spend planning a vacation. He pretended to use the restroom, blocked the door, robbed everyone inside, then rode away on a bicycle. It's hard to believe someone would risk their entire future for a getaway slower than a jogger. The smoke shop on Cullen Road in Houston wasn't hosting a shopping event. It was the scene of a robbery. The suspect came in pretending to browse, but his shopping list apparently included cash and free merchandise. She brought a group, targeted luxury stores, and left in a Kia with a designer item she allegedly didn't pay for. That's a strange way to chase a luxury lifestyle, especially when the bill might come from a courtroom instead. By the time the dust settles, one lesson stands out. Every decision leaves a footprint, whether it's made in panic, confidence, or courage. The smallest choice can shape the biggest outcome. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share to support the channel.